How to forecast market values. If you're like most people, you always try to assess what the market will do. If you own real estate, if you own stocks, if you own bonds, if you own any other investments, you always try to figure out what your market is going to do. Also, a lot of times you probably wonder whether you should be worried, whether your investment is going to decrease, whether you should sell it off quick, or whether you should keep it and make additional profit. Hi, I am Julia M. Spencer with www.juliamspencer.com. I'm a full-time real estate investor, and this video is about how to forecast market values for real estate. By the way, welcome to beautiful Tybee Island here in Georgia. This is my home beach. This is where I live. Actually, I live very close to here, and I come here very frequently in the evenings just to relax and chill and think about new things that I can teach you and think of new audiobooks I can record. By the way, go to my website today. It's juliamspencer.com. I have some of the best-selling audiobooks on real estate investing. My information is hands-on. It's very direct. I have 25 years of experience of having been there and done that, and you will be blown away with the information that I share there. Also, go to my YouTube channel. Just type it into any search engine, Julia M. Spencer. You'll find me on YouTube, on Facebook. Subscribe. Go to my website, subscribe to my newsletter. You'll get valuable coupons for any of my audiobooks, and you can start checking them out today. I'm a real estate mentoring coach to some of the most successful real estate investors out there, and my audiobooks are some of the top audiobooks on real estate investing. My wisdom comes from the real world. I've been there. I've been to the school of hard knocks. I've done all the mistakes. I want to prevent you from making the same mistakes that I've done. Now, this video is about forecasting market values of real estate, specifically of real estate. How do you do that? How do you know if the investment that you're about to buy is actually going to increase in value or if it's going to decrease in value? How do you determine whether an area is a good area to invest in or if it's going to go down the drain? Well, you know, if you can figure it out, please send me a message and let me know, because so far humanity has not figured out how to accurately forecast markets. Now, you can make predictions, you can do speculations, you can add this and you can add that. But for the most part, humanity has not figured out yet how to forecast real estate market values accurately. Now, that being said, there are 3 things that you can do today to forecast your real estate a little bit closer. Now, I'm not saying that this is a short fit thing and that you're going to be able to forecast for sure what your real estate's going to do a couple months down the road, a couple years down the road, or even, you know, for however long you plan on keeping your real estate. But these are the 3 things that I use in order to forecast my real estate and how I structure them in my portfolio according to what I know. Now, for starters, if you have real estate that's not really appreciating or depreciating, in other words, if it's real estate in a really stable market, this might be an area that hasn't really seen much industrial growth or any growth in the area. It's kind of just been stable. A lot of times this would be your more rural areas or suburban areas of not so major cities, just kind of like stable areas. Middle Georgia, for example, is an area like that. They've just been very stable over the years. The market values haven't really increased. They've kind of kept pace with the inflation of 3 to 4%, but other than that, the market values really haven't increased or decreased. Now, if you own real estate in those markets, it's kind of like a no-brainer. You kind of just keep it, hold on to it, you rent it. You know, over time, and even though there's no appreciation, over time, there's the amortization, which means that your tenants will help you or pay for your mortgage and your loan gets paid down. And as your loan gets paid down, you'll make more profits on rents if you have a mortgage. Now, if you don't have a mortgage, there's no need to hold on to the property to hope that it's going to increase in value anytime soon. But there's very good reasons to keep the property for rent income. So my recommendation is that in stable markets where there's not much appreciation, but you're still working on amortization by getting your rents to pay your mortgage off, just keep the property, just let it go, for forever, for 10, 15, 20 years. Most of the times those mortgages will be paid off by that time. You probably are making pretty solid return. If you kept the properties nice, that you probably don't have any maintenance issues, and you just kind of have some cash flow properties that are just sitting there making money for you. I do not recommend in stable markets to think that you're going to make a lot of money on flipping. Generally, big remodeling jobs and making really fancy kitchens or any kind of great investments into fixing up a fixer-upper doesn't really get you the return that you expect, because the stable markets just stay stable. It doesn't even really much matter what you do to the house. Unless you're going to distinguish your house as the super duper great new remodeling job that beats everybody else on the block, if you're just doing a little bit of remodeling, don't even waste your time. Just kind of fix them up minimally, that they're nice, they're nice and livable, but don't worry about pouring a lot of money in those kinds of houses in order to get that back on a flipping project. Just keep them for cash flow. Now, my second point to pretty much forecast what your income is going to be on real estate or your return on real estate is to not buy any mobile homes, manufactured homes. That's a tip that I actually give to anybody, anywhere. I, as a principal, do not invest in mobile homes. I don't invest in manufactured homes. I don't invest in anything that actually can be physically moved from my property. So I always am very careful with that. Now, especially if you invest in tax sale foreclosures like I do, and there are redemption periods, there's always a chance that somebody just packs up and takes their mobile home, since it's mobile, away from your spot, and you just paid for a improved real estate and it's not improved anymore. Also, those kinds of investment properties that are mobile homes or manufactured homes generally do not attract the best of tenants, which means that you'll be stuck with renting to substandard tenants. You have issues with management, which costs you more time and money. And on top of that, most of the time those properties are just a pain to maintain because they're just not made very well. They're not made to be permanent. They're not made to be permanent residents. So they require just a lot more work. And last but not least, to forecast your particular market is to watch it. And you can't just say one day, okay, I know exactly what my forecast is right now. You're going to have to watch your market a little bit. If you're planning to invest in a particular area, choose a couple of homes, whether you own them or not, and just watch. What does the price do? What do the tax assessors say? Because the tax assessors is a good starting value of where you can gauge what a property is going to be worth in the future. Talk to real estate agents in the area that have been in the area. Don't talk to anybody that's been working on a job for like a year. Talk to ones that have been working in the area for 20 years and that know your area, that know your streets, and they know your real estate, and ask them exactly what kind of things do I need to look out for with this particular piece of real estate. What are the trends doing? What's the whole area as a whole doing? What's the state doing? What's my county doing? What's my city doing? And just watch it. And the more time, of course, you can add to watching them, the more accurately you're going to be able to forecast whether your property is going to be doing well or not in the future. And I want to add a little bit to this. I actually own 2 pieces of real estate. I bought them brand new in a very extremely stable market. I didn't know it was a stable market when I bought them, but now, after having owned these properties for approximately, one of them for 17 years and the other one close to that amount of time, probably like 12 years or so. But they're both actually on the same street, and they're both in this very extremely stable market. Properties haven't gone up in value, they haven't gone down in value either, but they're just kind of sitting there. So after watching them for this long, and I shouldn't have even waited this long, but they were good cash flow properties for me. But now that they've been sitting there and they're not really appreciating, and they have amortized over all these years, which means I have a lot of equity in them, for me it's much better now to fit my portfolio, to sell them and use the cash gained from those to buy different kinds of investments in different areas. For example, here in a vacation area like this, where I can make a vacation rental, or possibly even buying more tax sale foreclosures or investing in other areas. So I have enough stable income now where I do not need to have cash flow properties. They don't fit into my portfolio anymore. I absolutely, totally understand this market. These properties are going to be worth approximately the same with a little bit of increase for the next 10 years. It's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to get out of that market and go into a different market. I don't understand this market. It's not a bad market, but I know as a seasoned real estate investor now that I can make more money with the equity someplace else. And for more tips like this, go to my website, subscribe to my newsletter there, juliamspencer.com. Download your free guide to real estate investing there and sign up for my newsletter today. And thank you for listening.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.